Well, we are still in Parkwood in Coventry, United Kingdom. This is the Rambling Rambler, Dave to his friends, saying thank you to all those who have liked, shared and rung the bell, and a big thank you for the nice comments, and thank you for liking and all the rest of it. So, and if you would like to subscribe, if you haven't already, thank you very much for that. I hope you're all fine wherever you are in this great big world of ours. I'm in the woods wondering why more of these trees have fallen down when we haven't really seen a lot of gales. So that's a little odd. Never mind. The mud is now doable. So before you couldn't go across this. I can go across this now and help flatten it down. And it's lots better. So I'm risking a walk right down through Parkwood today, across the bit in between which has been planted, and then into 10 Shilling wood. So that's the plan for today. Plus I'm thinking of reading some poetry, if I can do that, as well as carry on walking and holding the other phone, you know. And they said men couldn't multitask. Good gracious, of course we can. We don't do a good job of it, but we do it. But today, of course, I have to wish women everywhere well, because it is the International Day of Women's International Day. Now, by the time you get this, it'll be yesterday, but never mind, the thought is there. I'm wishing people well, women well, on the actual day. So I've had lots of comments on social media, which is great, regarding my post about International Women's Day. So that's good. Now I've managed quite a bad part so far, so I don't know how we're going to get on. This next bit is not special, but no, it's doable. Oh, I might have spoken too soon, but we will see. Yes. Yeah. Now, I thought this had sort of solidified a bit. Can I get through there? Yes, we can. There will be a way through. There will be a way through. There will be an answer, let it be, let it be. Yeah, I'm totally convinced I can get through here. Totally convinced. Should I end up flat on my face in this, you are permitted to laugh. Actually, I made it. I got through. Well, I couldn't have done that the other day because everything was muddy, so there you are. On the positive side, I made it. Now, I'm glad I wasn't reading poetry trying to get through this lot. So, I do get messages from all over the world, so I appreciate the little messages that I get sent of appreciation. I'm sure some people don't appreciate, but this is the Rambling Rambler. If you like countryside, maybe you would like to see this. Others, of course, wouldn't, and others couldn't stand the rambling. Well, I can understand that. So, yes, we're going to do quite a walk today down through both woods, and that's going to be probably about 5 kilometres, I don't know, maybe 6, something like that. But I can't do miles too well. I see them on the signs, but when I was teaching, we had to tell, because I was in the technology department, everything had to be in millimetres, centimetres or whatever. And of course most engineering is in millimetres anyway, but and of course there'll be engineers now correcting me, saying no, not anymore, we do it in parsecs. I don't know. If you're into building and what have you, I watched the B1M. It's all about massive buildings and all sorts, the building industry. And but talking about the building industry, I never understand why it is that nobody ever makes a fuss about concrete production, throwing up tons and tons and tons of nasty, noxious gases to mess up our planet, and they bellyache about a plane when planes only use a tiny fraction of what the concrete, but of course concrete's convenient, so nobody goes after it. I haven't heard people, all these people who are big on the environment. I didn't hear when Prince Charles was talking about it the other day. I thought, oh, he's doing well. He's talking about biodiversity loss and yet he never mentioned. He mentioned flights, I think, but he hasn't. Nobody mentions the concrete cement industry. It is such a massive pollutant. When I was down at the Royal Institute a year or so ago, I watched what are alternatives to it, and they're doing this laminated wood. I can't remember what it's called. It's got a special name. Laminated timber, all stuck together, equally as strong as steel, but it does not and cannot burn, believe it or not. The glue won't burn, so it simply can't be burnt. So it was rather, that was rather a good exhibition, and they are planning to, they've done some, I think there's one at 17 stories high, and they were going to do another one taller, and of course there's no reason why they shouldn't. And of course some countries are very big on wood, and are building more and more things from wood. And of course the wood not being burnt locks up the timber, locks up CO. So that's an excellent product, talking as we are in the middle of woodland. And of course it has to be sustainable wood, but there are woods that can be glued together that are relatively quick to grow, as opposed to these beautiful oaks which are slow growing and beautiful trees. And of course, talking of which, look at that. That's what you call an oak tree. Well, you can call it what you like. I call it an oak tree, largely because it is an oak tree, isn't it? Look at them. They call them the gnarled oaks, don't they? Because bits seem to drop off every now and again, and they make these glorious shapes up in the trees, up in the branches. Well, I could not have read poems dodging all this lot, could I? No, that would have been a bit of a, good gracious, that would have been a bit of a game. But it is improving, I have to say. Yes, and the bluebells starting to show themselves. We won't be quite yet before we see the flowers, but they're coming through well. Now even this mud is, you can actually stand on the top of most of it, so it's not so bad. Whoops, nothing like a nice trip. Now we're coming out onto the field, and the field between these two woods has all been planted. Of course, there have been some vandals knocking some of them over, but from what I can see, most of them are still there. Now, if you look down here, you can see that there's been motorbikes tracking along there, and yet, here's the joke, these are put here to stop motorcyclists coming on here. You can see, look, they come to here, but I think they still do it. Look at this. They drive around here, knocking over the trees. It's a little bit sad, isn't it? But